Good morning. I'd like to revisit the Alice in Wonderland meets Star Trek concept that I brought up last time we talked. And I don't know, I feel like it was a little bit incomplete. So, my first thought is that Alice and Spock would be hilarious together. Think about it, right? Imagine Alice falls down the rabbit hole and lands on a starship. And Alice is all like, everything here is completely mad. And Spock would say, that assessment appears to be statistically probable. Think about the starship characters, Star Trek characters, um, the Vogan fleet. No, that's another story. But like the Vulcans, okay? How would they respond to Alice being there? That's kind of interesting. And Alice would be like, the doors talk, the walls light up, and no one seems concerned. And of course, Spock would be like, the doors do not, in fact, talk. And I'd imagine the computer would speak up and say, please restate the query. Alice would say, I stand corrected. But deeper than that, Alice in Wonderland and the Star Trek actually share the same themes. Like Alice is constantly encountering worlds that challenge her assumptions about her own reality. Like Tweedledum and Tweedledee, the Lobster Quadrille, the Tea Party in general. Why is a raven like a writing desk? The sisters at the bottom of the treacle well. It's easy to say what I mean and mean what I say, but is it the same thing? Is saying what you mean the same as meaning what you say? Is eating while you breathe the same as breathing while you eat? It's just a whole different kind of concept than what you're normally used to with day to day life. And in Star Trek, they're constantly encountering civilizations that challenge humanity's assumptions on reality. So when Alice asks, who in the world am I? Star Trek asks, what does it mean to be human? And the rabbit hole is basically a wormhole. I mean, if you squint hard enough. Let's see if I've got a rabbit hole in here that I could show you, but maybe one will come up. But you can even picture the characters, like the White Rabbit is an overworked ensign, always late for a duty shift. Could you imagine the rabbit working with Scotty? Beam me up, Scotty, I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. And the Mad Hatter is some alien genius who sees time in a non-linear pattern. Like I would totally relate him to the Vulcans, like without a doubt. And the Queen of Hearts, she's a tyrannical planetary ruler that the crew has to negotiate with. I could imagine like she would trap the starship and cause all kinds of chaos, threatening to cut off everybody's head until the characters either complied or figured out how to get out of the puzzle and defeat her. These things, this is what I think of when I'm by myself. um, and Spock, he would obviously become the only person that can navigate Wonderland with Alice, because he's the only one that is willing to accept that the rules have changed, like the Tea Party rules, being at the bottom of the well, not being healthy, don't apply to the same to getting out of the well instead of living there. Okay. And Spock might not be able to embrace the madness per se, but he would be able to analyze and understand it and feel it and let it pass. Maybe if he's into the whole meditation kind of, anyways, whatever. But then there's the wonderful, weird possibility that Alice keeps changing size throughout Wonderland. Could you imagine Captain Kirk changing size as he changes directions or speeds? It's just fun to think about. Like Alice would say, "This morning I was so much smaller," and Spock would say, "That's biologically unlikely." And Alice would say, "Well, it happened anyway." And Spock would say, fascinating." Alice would say, "Spock, you say that about everything." And Spock would obviously reply, "Only things that are fascinating." And so Alice fell down a rabbit hole and Spock flew through a wormhole, and both discover that reality is much stranger than they were taught. I feel that concept quite a bit. Around 2020, when the whole mask wearing COVID thing came up, I remember thinking nothing makes sense anymore. How does it make sense that I am paid to stay home from work when for years I have been taught that I have to go home or go to work to make money instead of getting that $2,000 stimulus check to stay home? Nothing was making any sense to me, not just that though, for other reasons. Anyway, so that's my metaphor today for transformation, identity, finding your place in the universe that just keeps changing around you. Can you change with it? Can you adapt? Or are you going to get left behind? All right, well, that's enough of that theory. I'm just going to pull a couple of cards. We don't have a whole lot of time today. I've changed shift. I just want to see, I want to see if I can help you see what's going on in your world. What's going on in my viewers' world today? What can be expected for my viewers? Whoop, there we have it. The Six of Swords. You are navigating some emotional waters, possibly taking a trip. I feel like it's more of a imaginary trip, like a vacation of the mind, so to speak. Or maybe I am. Maybe I'm completely insane. But the Six of Swords is definitely a journey. I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff brought up from your intuition, from your emotions, from your subconscious even. And it's just time to take that journey. It's just time to get moving. And it might even be a physical journey. You might be planning a vacation or a road trip. Let's clarify that Six of Swords. That's a lot of clarifiers. I don't think that's accurate. It's too many clarifiers. How can we clarify this Six of Swords? This intellectual journey. I feel like it's a learning, more than a journey, like a plight even. Let's clarify this Six of Swords. What can we say about the Six of Swords? I do see that there is somebody else on the journey with you. Either that or you're talking to yourself and trying to make sense of the world that you're navigating. I'm not feeling any strong energies today, but it is definitely a lot of emotions coming up. I feel like there's a very whole kind of more than content emotions. With this Ace of Cups reversed, though, I feel like you are holding something back. You're not speaking your full truth. Feel like you're definitely lost more in your mind with this Six of Swords. Overthinking, overanalyzing the emotions that are coming up that are basically, if you would just acknowledge them, be aware of them, honor them, it would be a lot easier, a lot simpler journey. But let's clarify this Six of Swords a little bit if we can. We're already at 10 minutes. Let's clarify this. The Nine of Wands, you are... You built up a wall, but somebody is not accepting that wall. Somebody is, I don't know if it's you lowering your guard a little bit or taking defense maybe. But you've done a lot of good, solid, steady, stable, passionate building, and now you're willing to defend and protect whatever it is that you've built. I don't know if I'm so much in love with this reading as I am the concept of Spock and Alice in Wonderland taking a journey. But the bottom of the deck, that Three of Swords reversed, that is quite questionable. That's Three of the Swords usually is a third party situation. With it being reversed, though, there is no third party. It's all or nothing, but you're still in your head, still overthinking everything. That's the theme of all of this, is the overthinking. All right, I'll pull an angel card, do a quick blessing for this. Rochelle, what are you doing up there on top? That was yesterday's card. That was a good card, Angel Rochelle. But that, I don't believe that's the angel that we need for today. Let's do an angel card for today to help us along on this journey of intellect, this overthinking. Angel Seraphina. I am the angel of families. A happy change or addition is coming to your family. There we go. That's where that Three of Swords energy, you know, that is good. That is good. That Three of Swords energy. You're getting a third party into the mix, into your family. That's pretty nice. I like that. I feel like there have been two of you for so long that a third is quite a nice, happy kind of thing. And let me know what you think in the comments. And if you would like to travel on a journey with Spock and Alice, if that's your Six of Swords energy, your dream vacation, I would enjoy that. And then, get your coffee and go about your day. I love you. Thank you so much for watching.